Okay, so imagine the scene. It's a Sunday afternoon. Little Jimmy's with his dad, and his dad's reading to him from a book of Bible stories for children, and pointing out all of the characters, of course, from the pictures as they go through, and saying, "Look, there you go, Jimmy, there's a picture of Noah there, you see, and there's some animals getting on the ark, and a couple of giraffes there. You like giraffes, don't you?" "Oh, yeah." "So what happened to all the other giraffes, Daddy?" "What are the giraffes?" "Well, you know, the ones that didn't get on the ark." "Well, they died. I mean, they died in the flood when God killed all the heathen people." "Oh. Oh. But why didn't they get on the ark with the other giraffes, Daddy?" "Well, they weren't allowed on the ark, were they?" "They weren't allowed on the ark?" "Well, no, God didn't let them on." "Well, why? Had they been naughty, Daddy?" "You know they hadn't been bloody naughty. Look, there wasn't enough room on the ark, was there? I mean, there's only so many animals you can fit on there. Come on, be reasonable." "Well, couldn't have God got Noah to build a bigger ark, Daddy?" "No, he bloody well couldn't. Look, it already took him 120 years to build the one that he built. How big an ark do you want? And besides, it doesn't matter how big an ark he builds, he's still not going to have enough room to fit all of the world's animals on, is he? Come on, make sense." "Well, couldn't have God made the animals disappear, send them to a parallel universe, and then bring them back again when the flood was over, Daddy?" "No, he bloody well couldn't do that." "He couldn't do that, Daddy." "Yeah, well, I'm not saying he couldn't do that. Obviously he can do that. He's God. What I'm saying is, look, they're fucking dead, all right? They're dead. It's a fucking long time ago. Come on, get over it. Just look at the nice fucking pictures, will you? Look, there's a nice picture of the rainbow and the dove and the olive branch. You see? And there's another picture there of the animals getting off the ark. There's a couple of bears there. You like bears, don't you?" "Oh, yeah." "Are they the same two bears that God allowed to kill the 42 children who mocked the prophet Elisha because of his bald head, Daddy?" "No, they're not the same two bloody bears. They were both female bears." "Are you sure?" "Yes, I'm bloody sure. Who's telling you all these stories anyway?" "Nobody, Daddy. I was looking them up on YouTube." "Bloody internet. Be the bloody ruin of this religion, I'll tell you." Okay, so I've been doing some thinking about the way that the Bible stories are presented to children, and particularly the illustrations that are used in children's storybooks. You know, I mean, you get these nice cutesy images of, you know, Noah and the ark and all of these animals getting on board, and kids love that shit. You know, what could be more exciting than the idea of living on this big wooden boat with all of these animals? Fantastic, kids love it. And you might also get a picture of the rainbow and the dove with the olive branch and all these nice pictures associated with that story. But I just can't help feeling that there's this whole bloody section from the centre of that story that's not represented. You know, for example, you don't get any pictures of fucking this, do you? You don't see any cutesy pictures of any drowning, writhing, screaming heathens in there, do you? Where are those pictures? I mean, even the nice picture of the ark and the rainbow would probably be more accurately represented like this. Okay, you might mentally scar your kids for life if you show them pictures of that, but, you know, if you're going to indoctrinate kids into your religion by putting the fear of God into them, at least have the honesty to do it properly. You know, that's what I say. But there are other stories as well. I mean, let's take the classic David and Goliath story. Kids love that story. You know, especially the message that kind of goes with that, which seems to be, you know, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. You know, kids love that one. Because it kind of puts them in the mind of sort of the playground and school bullies and how to deal with them. Yeah. I don't know if the idea of taking a slingshot to school and slaying your enemies with a slingshot, I don't know if that is really the right message. But anyway, you know what I'm saying there. But you'll get a picture of David with his slingshot squaring up to Goliath, and clearly Goliath in this picture is saying, "Okay, David, as you can see, I'm holding in my left hand a very large playing card. Guess what it is, and I'll let you live." "Three of spades." "Ah, trick question. It's a shield, really. You die." So that's what's probably being said there, or something like that. And you might even see some pictures of Goliath laid out on the floor once he's been hit with a stone. But you won't see any pictures, however, from the end of that story. You won't see any pictures of fucking this. You won't see any pictures of where Goliath has had his head chopped off by David. For some reason that seems to have been edited out for children. But again, it's all part of the same story. Leave it in there. You know, it's all meant to be part of the same thing. You know, these stories are really popularised for children, and they're put in children's books, and yet they're very carefully edited versions of those stories. And I just don't think it's right. I don't know why, but maybe that's just me. Okay, I'm just twisted, that's all it is. But There are other stories as well in the Bible that I really feel should be depicted in children's books, but are just never going to get in there, are there? I mean, the story of the prophet Elisha and the two bears, that's a classic one for children. Shit, it contains all children's elements. I mean, there's children in it for a start. 42 of them. You know, there's a couple of bears in there. Kids love teddy bears. Okay, there's a bit of a problem with the story itself in that the prophet Elisha curses these children in the name of the Lord because they mocked his bald head. And these two bears then come out of the woods and brutally murder these children. I mean, fair enough. I mean, that is going to be a difficult one to depict. In fact, come to think about it, I'm not sure how you would depict that one for children. That would be difficult. You know, because you'd want to keep all the cutesy elements, wouldn't you? You want to still make the pictures as cutesy as the other ones, but at the same time reflecting the accurate way that the brutality occurs in the story. No, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about now, do I? Oh, I love pitting myself up against a brick wall. Too much information. Anyway, yes. So, how the fuck would that look? I don't know, really. I suppose if you had to do a picture of that, it would probably look something like this.
If you go down in the woods today, you're sure of a big surprise.